Good evening, junkies. Welcome to EminiJunkie.com, your AS Trading Mentor's free trading video for Friday, August 12th, 2011. Today we had a total of 11 executable trade signals for a max potential of 101 ES ticks. This video is for educational purpose only, is intended to highlight our high probability trade setup and give you a feel for the quantity of trades taken each trading day using this approach. A full trading plan and daily live trading room can be accessed from our website at EminiJunkie.com. Okay, I just want to start off before we go into this video. Yes, if you listen to that intro, we did have 11 trades for 101 ES ticks. Now, I just want to remind you, this is the maximum amount of ticks as if you hit every trade perfectly, even the extensions, the normal trades, being able to decipher between the two. That is extreme. Okay, this is not in a typical tick amount. It has to do with the volatility, and today we didn't have any of the full stop outs. So I just want to caution you, if you're watching this video, do not expect that this type of tick count is normal. It absolutely is not. This week we've had extreme volatility, we've had high tick counts, but the market's been moving fast, and the chances of you catching every single trade perfectly throughout the day, it's just, you know, I don't want to say it's impossible, because it definitely is possible, but it's very unlikely. And I would, you know, just make sure that you understand that these videos are for showing, you know, our trade setups. It's a very specific setup in our plan, and the difference between the normal and the extensions are the variables. So anyway, starting off the day, we had a signal short. We did have a high probability gap range, made a push higher first thing in the morning, and we had our high probability gap, came down with a extension signal to the downside, that first trade, and that did hit targets 1 and targets 2 for 9 ticks if you caught the extension. Then we had a extension to the long side, ended up getting stopped out on this particular trade, and it's, again, due to this volatility, we had our first contract off. This trade ultimately went up and worked. It's just this little up move took our first contract out, and then by the time we came back down, it was close enough. I mean, this doesn't look like much, but this is, you know, almost a 2-point swing here, and you know, we don't keep that large of stops. Ended up getting stopped out. T1 minus 2. And then you had this fast move to the downside that set up an extension on that news, and that came up right into, you know, and the chances of you catching this first swing on the extension for the news, that was 17 ticks. That would have been very hard to do unless you were expecting to move to the downside and was able to catch that extension short. Now, I will tell you that after that we had, you know, another signal that would have set up that actually would have been larger than 17 ticks had you waited for the full swing. But the signal was on that extension to the downside. And then that other news came out, and you can see it actually went on down. So the full swing entry would have produced more ticks, but the signal was on the news. The news extension did fire, hit target, so we stopped looking after that point. As we pushed down, we did have a signal to get long, right about 10:12, 10:13. That did produce targets 1 and targets 2 to the upside, and you can see we did fill the half gap, we did fill the full gap. So then the market was kind of free to climb to the upside, and we were expecting them to, at this point, we had some people in the room get long, and we were expecting them to hold this trade until we made new Globex highs. That was our impression on how the day was going to unfold. We were wedging in. If you're looking at a longer term time chart, and in fact we did, right during the lunchtime dead zone, we finally did break those Globex highs. So we started climbing here. We had some very fortunate folks in the room that were able to catch this trade. Most of them would have taken a stop out as we came back through this moving average. We did get a signal short. This is when we started to rotate down towards that lower edge of that wedge again. Another extension to the downside, targets 1 and targets 2 for 9 ticks. Found that lower edge again, came back up through our moving average, had another signal to get long. Again, still thinking that we have what it takes to get to the Globex highs, targets 1 and targets 2 for 13 ticks. Had they been trailing the gold line in this particular instance, they would have stayed in it, because we wait for a full candle outside of that. So they would have been able to hold this trade, but nonetheless there was a reset of our signals, and there was one last opportunity for them to jump on at 11:30, and then the market started running, pushed up, and there you have it. We pushed through the Globex highs, through yesterday's highs, actually put our high of the day in during the lunchtime dead zone, but hopefully after we made those new highs, anybody that was left in that trade, you know, they would have taken a stop out as we came back through that gold line there during the lunchtime dead zone. Now we don't initiate any new trades during the dead zone. You can see this trade fired right as we were heading into the dead zone. So that was the last trade. We were just managing it. And then after the dead zone was over, that's when we start looking again. After 115, we had another extension here that hit targets 1 and targets 2 for 9 ticks. And then as we crossed down through the moving average, we had a full swing T1, T2, 16 tick opportunity. So I believe that was it. Nope, I'm sorry. There was one last trade before 3 o'clock that hit targets 1 and targets 2 for 10 ticks. So just a fantastic day. 11 trades, 101 ES ticks. Again, not typical at all. And chances are, it'd be very hard pressed, especially with that news trade and others, to have captured every single opportunity there. However, we have had a great week. We did have a great day today. And, this week the volatility has played extremely well into our hands, and that just goes to show the point that with the right trading plan and trading system, you can handle market volatility and you can still do quite well. I know we had some members report in our room that they had record weeks, and that just makes me feel great. And I wish you all to continue learning, continue practicing your trading plan, and feel free to stop by and check us out. Thanks for watching. For more details on this plan, including all the chart setups, or to join our live trading room and video newsletter, please visit EminiJunkie.com or just simply click the link at the top of the screen. Thanks, and make it a great day.